Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lakay and today I'm super excited to tell you guys about Gold Surge. This is a FTMO demo account because I intend to run this on prop trading, but it can be used anywhere. I want to show you guys my results for the past day. You can just change this here and just say custom period today, right? And click on OK. Yeah, from about 1 a.m. this morning. I've been up since 4 a.m. this morning because I'm so excited. Alright, so you will notice these are the trades. All of the trades are essentially stopped out with the trailing stop. And we do have varying amounts over here, right? So you'll see there's quite a few losses, there's quite a few win trades as well. Now to address these little smaller trades over here, I'm running two different versions of the EA. So I've got the one that is called Aggressive. This has been placed by Gold Surge EA Aggressive. And these ones here are placed by the regular Gold Surge EA, which is now available on Patreon. The Aggressive one isn't yet available on Patreon because it is a new interpretation of it, so it still needs to go through testing. However, the trade logic is essentially identical. It just looks for breakouts a lot sooner. This is a breakout strategy. Gold Surge is a scalper EA. Since this morning is 1.5%. This was a bit higher. In fact, when I woke up this morning at 4 a.m., it's now currently almost 9 a.m. It was over $200 in profit. For FTMO, we're trying to hit 10%. I've just taken away the orange background just for a bit of contrast so that you can see what is going on and just walk you through how it works. I'm not going to discuss the aggressive one today, even though I am displaying some of those results. The aggressive one will come a bit later down the line after there's been a bit more thorough testing. So this is the basic settings. I've got my trailing stop at 50 pips. In fact, I think on my one account I've changed it to 70 pips. This is still a variable that I'm trying to figure out depending on your spread. Your spread isn't always the same. There are some times in the day when the spread is a lot worse. Now, if the EA does trade during that period, you are going to have a lot more losing trades. I can put in a time filter. All of this is going to come over a certain period of time. But right now, my trading stop point is 50, and these are the results that I'm seeing from it, which is pretty insane. I'm running it on 5 total accounts at the moment. 2 of them are live accounts, and additional 2 are demo accounts corresponding to those live accounts so that I can compare results. The 5th one is on FTMO. I want to demonstrate to you guys quickly. Let's see how it performed. So here you can see it open a whole bunch of call trades or long positions, but it opens them for a very short amount of time, just capitalizes on a tiny bit of pips and closes the trade. And it basically does this and continues to ride the wave until it is no longer there. So once price reaches this point again, it'll start buying, and basically for as long as that movement is there. So if we have a trend in the upward direction, it's just going to keep capitalizing and locking in your profit every single time, because that's basically what we are trying to do. Is instead of trying to predict the top of our move, we just take out small bite-sized chunks. We're just taking our plate, our massive plate of food, and we're just cutting it up into pieces and chewing it instead of trying to devour the plate in one gulp. So that is basically the strategy behind this, is breaking one big move into multiple bite-sized chunks and just capitalizing on those small moves. You will find that with some brokers, this will not work. I have had a broker that I tested. I had to widen the gap of the trailing stop to around 100 points in order just to see some feasible results. But as soon as you put it on the back test, it doesn't look very good. So make sure you use a broker with really tight spreads. I have my own preferred brokers. You will have your own preferred brokers. So you just have a look and test it and see what you think. See what works better for you. Okay, so there we have another breakout to the higher. So it's placed a couple more trades. We can see our balance, our equity over here. This is basically the same thing I saw this morning. I started running this current version, well, not this particular one, the more aggressive one. The only difference is the aggressive one probably would have seen this as a breakout to the lower as well and would have just tried opening trades. So it opens up more trades, but that doesn't necessarily translate to more profit. This is already at 2%. If you're a prop trader in 24 hours and you see 2%, you're having a good day. You're feeling pretty good about your results. I have set the trade size a fixed amount, so it's not going to compound or do any of that. This is the FTMO swing account, so my leverage is 1 to 30, meaning that this is the largest trade size that I can open with that given leverage. I can't open bigger trades, but at the same time, using the swing account, I can trade news, I can hold trades over the weekend. But yeah, let's keep this going. Okay, so this is our new buy stop. Okay, so I want to quickly discuss this. There we go. There we're at 10%. Cool. Phase 1 passed. Now we wait for our second account, and after that we are funded, right? Over here, roughly sometime over here, it opened, it basically created a new buy stop over here. It still respects the previous high. So these were our previous levels that it was trading until price started going down. It identified this as a breakout to the lower and grabbed a handful of trades over here. And as price basically consolidated, so it didn't push any higher, the EA realized that and basically decides, okay, cool, this is our new high. We will keep the previous highs just for in case price goes there, but we are more than likely to hit these levels. And yeah, so now we've got the breakout to the lower section, and yeah, it's going to continue like this. So this is already 10%. Also, I want to point out our stop loss and our take profit levels are calculated using the ATR. So depending on how much the market has moved in a certain period is how big the final take profit and stop loss will be, although 99% of all trades will be closed using the trailing stop. Basically, when your trade goes slightly into profit, it's just going to try and lock that profit in. It has the functionality to look at our candles, to look at the chart and basically identify key levels where it wants to buy, levels where it wants to sell. I know on the back test, this looks really rapid. It looks like a HFT, high frequency trading EA. It isn't that in reality. It's quite slow going. Trades are open for a couple of seconds. It's not a rapid firing 10,000 trades a minute the way the HFT trading bots do. This wasn't my intention. In fact, I wish I could take all of the credit for creating this. I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how to explain that in programming language because it becomes really complicated at some point. I'm not a coder by trade, so I had to partner with other developers to help me achieve this. And I mean, this is still early. It's going to improve over time. The take profit stop loss levels, the positions where it tries to trade, it's all dynamic. There's no fixed sort of values, and it basically capitalizes on these sort of moves. I just want to point something out. The current version isn't going to trade every single day. It's only going to trade once there is a definitive breakout. Here's an example. We have, what is this? The 7th of June. And then we have a trade over here, which is the 20th of June. So that's a full 13 days, 2 weeks of zero trading. Okay, if the market is dead the way it is now, the more aggressive version would find trades to trade there. But am I realistically optimistic about those trades? So that is why there is more testing that's going to take place. But here's just an example of 2 weeks of zero trades. So this is a long-term strategy at the end of the day. It traded from the 1st of April this year until the 23rd of July, which is 2 days ago. Let's quickly take a look at our graph. You can see it's a little bit choppy. There's a bit of valleys every now and then. You can test it long term. It's going to make money. If you test this all the way back from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it's not going to disappoint. Let's look at our report. Okay, so this has been approximately 4 months, just shy of 4 months, but let's call it 4 months. We have had 3.89% drawdown. So we have had decent returns, unfortunately at the maximum trade amount that we can have with a 1 to 30 leveraged account. So we can't really increase the risk here unless you go for the, what's the other FTMO account? I don't know because I don't use it. That one I believe has leverage of 1 to 100, so you can increase your trade size by at least 3 times, having 3 times the return. But keep in mind you're going to have 3 times the potential drawdown, so this might be closer to 16% if you increase your risk. That's something you need to balance. Risk to reward always needs to be balanced. Yeah, so as long as the overall outcome is positive, you're going to have losing days, you're going to have losing weeks probably. It needs the market to move. Just for example, this move here, this downward move was basically where all of the money was made. This one here at 4 a.m., that was where the large amount of trades, the large money was made, because this was a strong move. So on the strong moves, we'll really capitalize on them. On these longer candles, these little tiny wicks, these little small things over here, they're too slow, so it's probably going to close in a loss. So you don't want to trading over here. That's why the lower frequency one is the one that I have available right now. As for setup, to set it up is exactly the same as Euro Surge. If you don't know what Euro Surge is, you have to allow web request for listed URL in the options. You can click on tools and go to options and go make sure you're in the expert advisors tab. Make sure this little box is ticked and make sure that this address is entered exactly as it is over here. I'll copy it and I will paste it in the description for you, just to copy and paste. That is the server address. And then in the expert, when you add it to your chart, the reason why this is user add example is that I have already verified my email, so you can add as many as you want to on the same terminal without changing the email. You don't need to change this once you have done the initial verification. It will remember. However, if you do remove those instances, you'll have to re-verify the process. But whatever your email is that you signed up with on Patreon, so you need to be a Patreon member, this is going to be available for the $5 tier. However, only until the 15th of August. Now, I'll get into more details about that. Whatever email you've used in signing up as a member, you will input that over here. And that email will then be sent to the server. The server is this one here, so it has to be added in this URL. It will be sent to the server for verification, just to verify that you are a member and that you are allowed to use it, and it will then function same way it's functioning for me right over here. You can go down to Patreon, link down below. I'll give you a shout out. I've got a new member that I have to thank. I'm going to put it on screen. I'm not going to try and pronounce this. I do not know how to pronounce this, but thank you for your support, and I hope you enjoy all of this. There's a whole bunch of stuff still coming at a later date. In any case, you need to become a member on Patreon. I've mentioned that it is going to change on the 15th of August, so current members, do not worry. Any new members, if you join before the 15th, you will have access to this indefinitely. However, it is going to increase. What I meant to say is there will be an additional tier added to Patreon. The $5 tier will remain, and if you are part of it before the 15th, you will have access to everything that the higher tier has access to. However, after the 15th, the $5 tier will only have access to Euro Surge and some other smaller projects. And if you join after that date, so after the 15th of August, well, I'm sorry, you're going to have to pay the full price. The reason behind that is that this is a collaborative process and those individuals need to get paid as well. And I do want to give you guys great and awesome products to use. And at the same time, it is a great motivator to keep this going. I don't know what the new amount's going to be. All of that is still being calculated. But like I've said, if you are a member of the Not a Shitty Trader tier already, or if you do join before the 15th, all of this will be available. And the reason I'm doing that is because all of the early adopters, You didn't have to join the Patreon. You don't know who I am. For all you know, I could be scamming you. So for you to take a chance with me, I'll return the favor. So it's going to remain the same for you indefinitely. That's not going to change. None of those privileges will be taken away. Euro Surge isn't forgotten about. I kind of want to solve the core issue. For the past 2 weeks, it hasn't been doing well. In fact, if you had the higher risk on the same way I had it going, you would have probably been 30% down by now. So I've basically just put it to the side, completed this here, and now that this is out, I should have a bit more free time to work on that. Anyways, that's all I have for you for today. I hope you have an awesome day. I'm gonna go take a nap, and I'll see you in the next video.